Exactly.
because you don't know what kind of people they deal with.
To
You know,
protect and serve. That's right.
that's right.
And you're for the community. You're for the people. You want to help people. I can't stress that enough. The police and the sheriffs are not against the people. They are for the
They're
people.
for the people. That's right. You know,
That's one thing, is serving the people. A lot of times, when my office open, the first thing when you walk into my office, I'm the first person you see because my desk is right there in front of the door.
yeah.
Most people they can't have touching relationship where they get within an arm's length. I actually sit people down, listen to their problems, then try to find a situation for that.
Right.
Um, there's like a lot of these addicts that they know they've got a problem, and what their addiction has done is led them into other things, which is the thieving, the stealing, and hurting family. Because first week they steal from his family because they feel there will be some forgiveness there, and hurting family. And I get to see the whole picture because I get to talk to the parents later. I get to talk to everybody that's involved in the situation, and programs are good. All these different things that they have for addicts, but it still boils down to accountability and somebody taking the time and showing that they care enough to reach out to them.
Educate me and the viewing audience, the listening audience, on a daily routine of the sheriff's office because it's never ever the same. You might deal with car collisions. You might deal with hard things that people every day that couldn't handle like you can handle.
Well, and every day the day never. You're right. It's never the same. The phone could ring at any hour, any time during the night, and you're into a situation that may take up the whole next day. Sometimes it just rings because somebody's concerned about something or just giving you information. But people want to be able to, and just like you're saying, people being involved in a posse. People want to be involved in community, but they don't know where to get involved. And in a posse, that doesn't mean that you get on a horse and ride out and make arrests.
Right.
There's things that looking at the big picture, if a guy could have everything he wanted, I would like to have a posse group that takes care of addicts, a posse group that does an after school program involved in Cowboy Up for Christ, that kind of stuff, and like home. Community watch type program. I mean, you can make it as big as you want to make it or small. You can make it a group or you can make it personal, just one-on-one.
What are things that we as the community need to watch out for? Like we see mischievous activity going on. Maybe these meth labs, if we smell strong odors, or like these one-step meth labs beside the road. And like I even seen that young people was out walking and they spotted one of those. Just educate us.
Thing to do there is don't go up to it. If it looks suspicious, stay away from it. The best thing to do is to call either into a dispatch or an agency to come and to secure that and to make sure the area is safe again. A lot of people, they say, well, they're naive to the things if they have a family member involved, you automatically learn a lot. But if your family has never been involved and untouched by the drug culture, walking into some stuff like that is really pretty dangerous for you.
Exactly.
So,
Mr. James, I know you've lived in that area a long time,
Yes.
and I'm sure that you've seen a change in the community. People's outlooks is changing, more drug activity going on. Tell us about that.
Yes, it seemed like, back when we was raised up, you didn't hear a whole lot. But things, it just gets worse every time you turn around, seems like.
Right.
And just like talking back to meth lab there, them was very dangerous because I know some people got killed by them. And because they explode on you. That's definitely, if you ever run across one, you need just call 911 or your local law enforcement. Do not, just like Danny was saying, you do not fool with that stuff. 'Cause it's just like a ticking time bomb sitting there.
Right. And we're moving into like the spring and summer activities. There'll be a lot of people trying to grow marijuana. The cultivating times coming in. We just need to keep our eyes open and report crimes.
yeah, a lot of times people are afraid of retaliation. They live in a closed community and pretty much everybody knows everybody. But they're afraid, we get a lot of calls, man, don't tell anybody where you heard that. Don't tell them it came from me because they're afraid of retaliation. And that is, could be a factor in some of these things. But, if law enforcement handles the things properly and takes care of things, nobody knows where that call actually came from. They can suspect, but they can't really prove anything. So,
Well, I'm sure on a daily basis, you don't take pleasure in having to arrest people or put people in jail. But if somebody does the crime, they'll have to do the time.
In my job, and there's a lot of law enforcement handle things different way, but the way I have always dealt with things is in making arrests. Let's just say I come into your home to arrest you on a charge. I walk in, you invite me in. You may not even know that you have a warrant on you. Sometimes people don't know, sometimes they do. But when I walk into somebody's home, I'm what I call level one, just like we are right now. We're just talking. When I go to a home, that's what I go in as a level one. I talk to them. I explain to them. I said, first of all, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to disrespect your home. I'm not going to disrespect you in front of your children, your wife. This is your home unless you make me.
Right.
And I explained to him that each step, if he gets loud, well, then I'm obviously going to get loud. 3 has to be a level 2. 3 is when it becomes hands-on. 4 is when it decides which weapon I'm going to use to go ahead and, I shouldn't say weapon, which tool I'm going to use to go ahead and secure that.
Right.
And so I have never really had, because I treat people that way, I've never had to lay hands on people and hurt them. I've never had to beat them to get them. Usually by that time I say, hey, sit down, have a cigarette, tell your children goodbye, and you'll see them real soon. I don't want them to have a negative attitude when I leave. And we don't have that problem.